Everybody, this is Adrian. Thank you for joining me, and I have kind of a small content news update going on right now. Just a few hours ago, the patch notes for patch 1.16 of Europa Universalis IV, which is the patch that's going to come out with Mare Nostrum, which comes out tomorrow, April 5th, on Tuesday. They just released the patch notes, the full patch notes. I'll put a link in the description below, and they highlight some of the key features here. So like states and territories, decide which areas are most important to your nation and which are designated as territories. It comes with 15 brand new achievements. It comes with the idea of sailors, which is funny because I made a mod that kind of implemented this. I'm wondering if they stole this from me. Mare Nostrum introduces corruption. And they have new religion for Central Africa, which is fetishism, which is kind of weird. And then yeah, it's a pagan religion. They got some new map modes. Let's see, they have a states and territories map mode. And when I was watching Arumba play the review build of Mare Nostrum, it looked like they changed the trade map mode. It looks clearer. It highlights all of the trade regions in the world, and it makes everything else like really dark. It looked like it made the water very, very dark, almost like a dark bluish color to make it easier to see the paths for steering trade and stuff like that. So if you want to go check that out in Arumba's videos, go ahead and check that out. They got some different AI tweaks, privateering, pathfinding, war waging, AI economy handling. So I'll leave a link in the description for these patch notes here, at least this page of at the Paradox Plaza. I'm not sure if you can see it if you have if you don't have an account. I'm not sure. I think you might have to be logged into an account. But I have the patch notes here, and I just wanted to comment on these. So the major expansion features that you have to pay for in order to be able to do this yourself. Barbary nations could raid for slaves with their ships. I'll also leave a link in the description for Arumba's video on what this looks like, how it looks like when the AI does it, when he does it. It's pretty cool. It's kind of interesting. You can steal maps, and that's a new spy action. Is that if you have espionage ideas, I believe you can steal maps from. Say you were an African country, you could steal maps potentially from a Western nation that has more of the world revealed to them than you do. You can also share maps. That's especially in multiplayer. This sounds like this could be pretty useful. This could be very, very powerful if you want to make good friends with somebody. That's a lot of leverage that you can give them maps prematurely. Especially like I said, if you have African countries, Middle Eastern countries, that could be a big deal. They have some new naval missions. You can intercept naval ships. You can hunt enemy fleets. You can evade enemy fleets. You can blockade enemy ports. I thought that was pretty cool. That was some interesting stuff to see in Arumba's videos. Let's see. Unconditional surrender. So if you already know that you're going to lose a war and you want to preserve your manpower, you want to preserve your money, you can just unconditionally surrender to your enemy. And they'll send you a peace offer up to 100% war score. And basically you have to accept it. There's nothing else that's going to happen. But I mean, you may be off in a better position than if you fought out a war, lost your whole army, took out some loans. I think that's kind of cool. It changes the dynamic between making every single conflict in Europa Universalis IV a total war. This is one of the problems of the game, is that every single fight is like this fight to the death, and the AI especially does some foolish things as far as fighting things out, and they plunge their country into absolute chaos. So I feel like unconditional surrender could change that aspect. Is that not every fight is going to be that one that you put up to the very end. You're not Sparta. You could just unconditionally surrender. Hey, I don't want to fight this. Do what you want. I'm going to preserve my manpower. I'm going to preserve my troops. So it's something to think about. Now, I heard from Wiz that the AI will not use unconditional surrender. At least they said that's how it works for now, but who knows? So only players can unconditionally surrender. So especially in multiplayer, that's a pretty big deal. Like I said, but I'm not sure about the AI. The AI might still fight to the death. So oh well. Espionage works different. So let's see here. You can create a spy network. and there's certain spy actions that are usually instantaneous. The better spy network you have, the more likely it is to be discovered. Goes from 0 to 100. So at 25, you can fabricate a claim, if I'm correct. And at like 60 and 70 and 80, you could really do some stuff with trade power. And I believe anything over 50, you actually get a siege bonus because you have informants and double agents inside fortresses that allow your siege ability to be better. You can actually siege things down faster. I thought that was pretty cool. That sounds really interesting. Arumba was checking it out, and it seems kind of unbalanced, but at the same time, it actually seems to work out pretty well. Yeah. See here, having a spy network in another country now gives you passive benefits to siege ability and aggressive expansion incurred against that country. Standing technology is different. This actually stepped up Arumba in one of his videos. It's no longer an action with a diplomat, but it's just a discount. It's a straight discount if you have the espionage bonus and you have a spy network in a country that has better tech than you do. So that's pretty cool. You could slander merchants, reduces another person's trade power, another country's trade power for 5 years. In Arumba's build, it was only 10% trade power that was taken away for 5 years. So it wasn't really worth it when he was taking a look at it. It would be cool if they buffed it up a little bit, maybe 20%. That would be pretty... That sounds pretty substantial compared to 10%. Sabotage recruitment reduces manpower and sailor recovery speed. That's pretty cool. Corrupt officials increases corruption. Depending on how bad corruption is, this could seriously be very, very powerful, especially in multiplayer. Mare Nostrum DLC also unlocks the Hunt Pirates mission from El Dorado. Okay. Let's see here. You can now rent out Conde Altieri. So mercs, that's pretty cool. You could rent out your army to other people. It's an interesting mechanic. I thought it would be different in practice, but it looks okay in some of the review build videos that we've seen. You can counter espionage against a country, so if they're really trying to come after you, you can set up your own defense and resist their spies. I haven't seen too much of it yet, but should be cool. Let's see, there's a timeline feature. Everybody's wanted this for a long time, and so you can go and record a timeline of either a certain area of the map or just maybe of the whole map through the years. So from 1444 to 1821, you could do a timeline video, maybe like 5-10 minutes. Other people have recorded, you usually were limited to doing it in an actual program, like Shadowplay or Fraps or something like that. And obviously the file sizes would be huge, and it would take forever. 1444 to 1821 is a very long time to render in-game. I think it's a couple days. And I think it's like 12 hours or 13 hours or something in Speed 5. I'm not entirely certain. So you can now directly promote mercantilism. I believe it's 200 diplomatic power to increase your mercantilism by 1. So that's pretty powerful, but the diplomatic power cost is quite high. So unless you have a real heavy diplomatic power focus, getting advisors, having a good ruler, having good, say if you were a republic, having a Republican diplomatic ruler, I'm not entirely sure how useful this is going to be for mercantilism, but we'll see. This is pretty cool. Merchant republics can form trade leagues. That's pretty cool. I've seen a lot of cool stuff from this so far. It brings them much needed flavor because really they were kind of boring to play before. Like playing Venice, playing Genoa, it was either too difficult or it just wasn't fun enough compared to other countries, say like the Hansa, Lubeck, things like that. Yeah, Trade League now acts as a defensive pact, so, you know, that's cool. Let's see here. Embargoes are Trade League wide, okay. And then Trade League leaders automatically have a dispute casus belli on any countries that'd be able to generate such casus belli on via spy action. That's weird. It's weirdly worded. And then Trade Leagues get 20% more trade power from their ships. So that's also pretty damn substantial. There's a lot of benefits to being in a Trade League now. Just because of this. It's amazing. So these are some of the free features. They have a loot map mode, which is kind of cool. Naval combat's different. New map mode, states and territories. Let's see here. Added the historical neutral tag, which makes countries less likely to become friends or enemies. That's weird. I mean, because countries are already neutral, but okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. Admirals now have siege ability, which increases blockade efficiency. Okay. Looks like... Oh, these are for, I believe, maritime ideas. Either maritime ideas or actually, it might just be maritime ideas. I would have to get back to you on that one. Yep, they added sailors. Like I said, might have stolen an idea of mine. Who knows? Let's see here. Added continue button to end game screen to allow you to go beyond the supported end date if not playing Iron Man. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. Added a continue button to end the game screen to allow you to go beyond supported end date if not playing Iron Man. That's pretty sweet. So in a normal game, you can go from 1444 to 1821, and they added a continue button, which will allow you to play even farther than that. In Iron Man, though, the game does end in 1821. That is fantastic. I didn't even know that. That's really cool. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh yeah, blockades are now indicated on the map with special border graphics. The graphics look pretty nice. It's kind of cool. I think it needs to be a little bit brighter, a little bit bolder, but you know, that's okay. States and territories. So you have a state, which is usually a core part of your country, and then you have a territory, which is like, okay, it's an appendage. It's like a secondary part of my country. It's not a primary. States cost money, so you know if you have 15 states, it's going to cost you more than it would to have territories. I'm actually not sure if territories have a maintenance cost at all. I don't believe they do, but I don't want to be certain on that one. I would have to double check that. But that's kind of interesting. They're trying to limit. Well, they're trying to add in corruption, but they're also trying to limit how much you expand, where you expand, how you expand. Because you can have a state or you can have a territory. Obviously, colonies, overseas provinces, exclaves, you'd want them to be territories. But states, say, you know, if you're a German one province minor, everything around you, you probably want it to be a state. You don't want it to be a territory because it's a core part of your country. So I think that's pretty interesting. Corruption's been added. And you know, I'm not going to go through the rest of it. I'll leave a link so you can take a look at the patch notes yourselves on the Paradox forum. But overall, I think Mare Nostrum is going to be an awesome expansion. I will buy it tomorrow when it comes out, and I will be playing it hopefully sometime this week. If not this week, at least this weekend. I'll be streaming it on Saturday. And yeah, until next time, we'll see you soon, guys.